employer's view on the marketplace for the coming year, for 2015, is actually very, very confident. We've got the vast majority of companies are predicting the business levels are going to increase in 2015, and for the first time in the last 3 years, we've got more employers saying that the economy is going to improve in the coming year than there are people saying that the economy is going to remain the same. And we've said over the last couple of years that as soon as that happens, that's really when confidence is coming into the marketplace. Having said that, even though companies are expecting business levels to increase and are expecting the economy to improve, that isn't really translating into a massive change in plans from a hiring perspective. You've still got the same proportion of companies, about 40% of companies, saying that they're planning on increasing permanent headcount for 2015. So I think what we're seeing is an improvement in confidence again, an expectation that the economy is going to improve again, but still remaining a relatively conservative approach on investing in permanent headcount in most companies. I think that the challenges that employers are going to face in 2015 are really two sides of the same sword, if you like. On the one hand, employers don't want to overinvest in permanent headcount and they want to improve productivity, but an improvement of productivity, if you do that over a few years, then you put excessive strain on the existing employees. So on one side, holding out on recruitment for an organisation might make good business sense, but it puts a lot of pressure on the existing employees, and when there's too much pressure, potentially you could actually lose people from your workforce, and that'll have a negative effect on productivity. And then the flip side of that is when a company decides that they do actually want to invest in their permanent headcount, maybe it's not so as easily said as it is done, because when you go into the marketplace looking for real skilled people and for niche skill sets in the marketplace, it's actually not very easy to find those people, and that's where the skill shortage comes back in again. So I think companies are almost trapped between those two things: the desire to improve productivity and the negative effect that that can actually have on their existing workforce, and then the challenges that they face when they go out to try and find those niche skill sets. It's actually harder than a lot of companies imagine, and it can take a lot more time than they can imagine. If they can't find the right people, that reduces their ability to expand, it reduces their ability to innovate, and it stops them achieving the growth plans that they had in place in the first place. I think they've got two choices, and there's a short-term option and there's a long-term option. From the short-term point of view, I would recommend, and we see a lot of our clients doing this, I recommend investing in temporary or contract headcount. It's a very good idea because basically you can bring in the skill sets that you need. It takes off the pressure from the existing person in that position. It could be a 3-month contract to get over a bump in increased business activity, or just to complete a project that's taking a lot of time. And as soon as that's over, the person leaves, and you're back down to your original cost base. And obviously the benefit to the existing person or the permanent person is that they can see that you want to help and that you want to take the pressure off them, but at the same time you're not committing to a long-term cost that you would have difficulties undoing. From a long-term point of view, I think there's a huge opportunity in creating a succession plan. We found that there's a minority of companies, 30% of companies, actually have a succession plan in place. It doesn't cost anything to have a succession plan. So I think if our advice to our clients is to say to them, think about where you're going to be in 5 years' time, think about what your organization is going to look like, and what would your structure internally have to be able to facilitate that. Now, it may not be exactly right, but what it does do is it shows people who are currently in the organization what the future opportunity is. For more information, visit hays.ca/salary guide. What could you be?